Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no, we are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here, and these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this, but customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers impersonating Coinbase customer support and try to trick them into sending their funds.
Hey, what's going on, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here today. There's a hidden force moving in the shadows of the blockchain, and it's closer than you think. What if I told you that the global financial system is quietly being rewired right under our noses? Big players are making moves, merging crypto with everyday payments. Courtrooms are shaking up regulations, and hackers are infiltrating trusted exchanges to steal your data. It's a web of secrets, and the stakes have never been higher. But don't worry, I'm here to pull back the curtain. In today's video, we're diving deep into the crypto news that you need to know to stay ahead of the game. From MoonPay and Mastercard revolutionizing payments to a judge's ruling that could change the crypto landscape, and a Coinbase hack that's got everyone on edge, this is actually urgent. Stick with me because the knowledge and power in this fast-moving world, and here's the kicker, stay with me until the end because I'm going to share how you can get exclusive access to our free ebook packed with altcoin secrets that could supercharge your portfolio. Plus, we will be diving over into X.com and finding out all the breaking news that's happening in the financial world today. Plus, we will be checking on the charts for XRP at the end of this video. You'll want to stick around for that. We're going to be looking for our most important resistance levels and the next level of support to the downside. We're also going to be checking in our long-term and short-term momentum waves. Plus, we'll be heading over to Forex Factory to check out all the red folder news that happened today. Was it positive or negative? And so much more in today's video. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap. We're going to take a look at the overall health of the crypto market today. First and foremost, the total market cap coming in at 3.32 trillion, down 1.05%, essentially the exact same spot that we were in yesterday. As we take a look here on our 30-day total market cap chart right down here, we have had that nice surge up to that $3.4 trillion, rejected off of there, coming down, retesting these recent lows at 3.25 trillion and starting to make its way back to the upside. This 3.4 trillion is going to be a very strong resistance. We'll see if we can surge through that, or will we be dropping back for a retest of this $3.2 trillion? We did have $132 billion worth of volume in the last 24 hours, so the trading has been there. Fear and Greed Index taking a step back. We are at 69 greed, so we're still in the green, which is positive. We didn't reach all the way into the extreme greed, which is still good for us. Yesterday was a 71. Last week was a 70. Altcoin season index also taking a step back. Last week we were up in the 35s. Yesterday was 25. Today we're at 25 out of 100. So it is now back into full-on orange Bitcoin season. Bitcoin dominance has continued to come down. We're currently sitting at 62.2%. In some really strong positive news for us, we did have a very great day in the Bitcoin ETF tracker. We did have a $325 million day worth of inflows into the ETFs. Yesterday, we did have an outflow of 91 million, but when we zoom out onto the 1-year scale, we can see we are starting to have decreasing volume of ETF inflow, and we do have increasing price. But my worry is that if we do not beat last week's total inflow, that we could start to see declining price along with this declining volume. 4 weeks ago, $3 billion worth of inflows. 2 weeks ago, $1.8 billion. Last week, $920 million. We didn't even reach $1 billion. So far this week, only $241 million worth of inflows. We will continue to keep you updated on that. Top 5 coins by total market cap: Bitcoin coming in at number 1, $2 trillion market cap. Ethereum holding over 300 billion at number 2. Tether reclaiming that number 3 spot at 150 billion. XRP on some negative news today, really surging to the downside. We have $140 billion market cap. BNB taking over Solana, currently sitting in the 5 spot at 92 billion, and Solana coming in at 89 billion. Heading back over to X to find out all the breaking news. The most important thing out there for central exchange users: Coinbase has had a massive attack on them. Brian Armstrong coming out the video. We'll go ahead and play the rest of that here in just a second. But John Deaton, remember, big giant XRP supporter, XRP holder. He actually filed a lawsuit for the XRP holders. He came out and said to every person who has an account on Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, and Uphold, or any other exchange, these are centralized exchanges, the hackers are very sophisticated. You may get an email from Coinbase support or Uphold support, but it really isn't from them. I've had these emails sent to me and they look official. Don't click the links and never input your password. They attempt to create a sense of urgency by making you think that you will lose all of your assets if you don't respond to these emails. Stay safe. And I've covered this multiple times. Whenever this type of scenario comes out, I do let you all know. In fact, we're so big on security for your crypto. Altcoin Pro University, if you're not a member, you can click the link down in the description to join the team. We have an entire class on ironclad crypto security strategies, and we have an entire course specifically on avoiding cryptocurrency scams. You want to be very careful of this. It's very important to always risk management is more important than accumulation even sometimes. So make sure you click the link down in the description. Join us at Altcoin Pro University.
And try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this. So less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable. And I want to tell you what we're doing about it. So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them. There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there. Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number 2, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this. But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers. For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
Now, personally, I hate to bring up these topics, but it is very important for all of you out there holding crypto. Coinbase also put out a post personally from them. Cyber criminals bribed and recruited rogue overseas support agents to pull personal data of less than 1% of Coinbase monthly transactional users. No passwords, private keys, funds were exposed. Now, if you go into the comment section, they are getting absolutely ripped to shreds because of the fact that they've had so many numerous problems freezing people's accounts and this, that, and the other, saying, why are you hiring people overseas? Why don't you just have people working here in the US? Why are you being so cheap when you're dealing with all this money, et cetera, et cetera? Well, let me know your comments. What is your opinion down below? Also, don't forget to head over to X and enter your chance to win $100 worth of XRP giveaway. And if you win, all you need to do is like this post, comment XRP below the post, sign up for our Blowfin account using an affiliate link right here. You can get a 10% deposit bonus up to $50,000 on your initial deposit. Winners will be announced in our daily email newsletter every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can also subscribe to Altcoin Secrets. Congratulations to Caio Alexiel for winning last week's giveaway. Now, speaking of centralized exchanges, here's some more negative news, but it's turned positive finally. FTX, as you all know, crashed in the last bull run. But FTX Recovery Trust will distribute over $5 billion to creditors in the second round of payments on May 30th. So if you were using FTX and you were involved in this scenario, you will be getting some of your money back. Unfortunately, everyone's not getting reimbursed at 100%, but May 30th, check your accounts. You will be seeing some money coming to you. Now, I do have some more positive news coming out shortly, but I do also have to give you guys this leading information. It is also negative. Judge Torres in the XRP Ripple versus SEC case, Judge Torres has denied the party's motion for indicative ruling. If jurisdiction were restored to this court, the court would deny the party's motion as procedurally improper. So what does this mean? Well, down in the comments section, it means that they didn't follow the correct legal processes to take for her opinion at this stage. Since the case is already being appealed, her court doesn't have the authority to make decisions on the settlement right now unless the appeals court sends the case back to her, a process called a remand. In short, she's saying, I can't rule on this yet because the case is out of my hands while the appeal is ongoing. Now, this was an interesting reply that I saw here from Fred Rispoli. He is an attorney, trial lawyer, counselor for legal services and all things crypto. He took out the quote from the reply here: by styling their motion as one of the settlement approval, the parties failed to address the heavy burden that they must overcome to vacate the injunction and substantially reduce the civil penalty. So he says, translation, you effing wasted 5 years of my time on this, and this is ridiculous. Refile it, and if you beg for relief, and give me a heavy details on why you wasted my time and why I should do this, I just may. Now, what he says is what he would do is he would file a 25-page motion, describe all the other cases being dropped, which we know all of these crypto cases are being dropped, file declarations from the commissioners, describe the failures of the SEC, and do any meaningful work on crypto guidance, etc. And then in positive news for this, though, he does say, I think that that will get done, but it's going to take at least 2 to 3 weeks for Ripple and the SEC to put this together as far as the file, and then another week for the judge to rule out. And then, of course, the most important person responding to this information is the chief legal officer for Ripple, Mr. Stuart Alderati himself. Nothing in today's order changes Ripple's wins. So i.e. XRP is not a security, so keep that in mind. This is about procedural concerns, and in the dismissal of Ripple's cross appeal, Ripple and the SEC are fully in agreement to resolve this case and will revisit the issue with the court together. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now. And moving on to some other positive news, here we go. How about $1 billion minted at the USDT Treasury? You know what that means. When they're minting USDT, Bitcoin can start to moon again. So that's one thing for you to always keep your eye on. One, we take a look at the ETF trackers for Bitcoin. Two, we look to see if USDT is printing more money, because if they are, things are about to start to go to the upside. Also, big announcement, Mastercard just announced that they're going to enable crypto payments with 150 million merchants, and that means that Bitcoin will be next.
Who's MoonPay's founder and CEO, Ivan Soto-Wright. Good morning to you. Just because some folks may not understand what this all means, break down the technology here. So Mastercard, well, I won't even do it. You do it, Ivan.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me again. It's great to be back on the show. From our perspective, we think stablecoins are a really big deal. It's actually quite personal for me. I'm half Venezuelan, and there are people all around the world that receive money from the United States. This is a new technology layer. Stablecoins are dollars on a blockchain. Anyone with an internet connection, anyone with a phone can receive money in the form of the US dollar at the speed of light, the speed of the internet. And, from our perspective, we want to see this embedded everywhere. The next logical step for us was, okay, there's 120 million unique wallet addresses that have stablecoins, 30 million active users. How do we make that possible for them to spend those stable coins? Logical next step was with Mastercard. They've been a phenomenal partner. We've been working with them over the past couple of years. Shout out to Michael and Sherry, the president over at Mastercard, to bring this to life. But we want to make this more accessible. MoonPay has been about building the backwards compatibility of the existing financial system. So this made a lot of sense.
I'm going to sort of project out what the financial future looks like, because I sometimes don't think that the audience and all of us totally understand where this all goes, because it feels to me, once you get to a point where a MasterCard or the Visa network and everybody is in stablecoin land, actually sort of finance actually fundamentally changes.
For sure. I think cryptocurrency wallets are going to be embedded everywhere. It's ultimately a new internet native technology. If you think about the legacy system, we had all these financial systems in different parts of the world that didn't communicate with each other in a shared language. Blockchains are that shared language. Stablecoins sit on top of them. And so we think it's going to be a natural next step that every single financial institution recognizes its importance. And so that was part of the reason last time I came on the show, we acquired Iron, which was a developer platform to bring APIs, bring really simple to easy to use infrastructure for any business to embed stablecoins.
And speaking of stablecoins, check this out. This is big positive news. Stablecoin yields are now live in Ledger Live. Your stablecoins, your yield, no compromises. Now you can earn 9.9% APY on USDT, USDC, DAI, and USDS directly through Ledger Live. This is really phenomenal news because you can continue to hold your keys in self-custody as opposed to having to send your money over to a centralized exchange where we can see some issues do happen from time to time. And here's the announcement also from MoonPay on X.com. The partnership is real. Heading over to Forex Factory to check out what happened in the news today as far as financials. So core PPI. PPI is the producer price index. An actual greater than forecasted number is good for the currency. So as we can see, it was forecasted at 0.3 and it did come in under at 0.4%. Then we also have core retail sales month over month. These are the 2 month over months here. Was supposed to be 0.3, came in at 0.1. So sales were sluggish when it comes to retail sales. But the most important number that came out today is the unemployment claims. It was forecasted to be at 229,000 and it hit exactly at 229,000. So coming in neutral, which was a positive thing. Also, then we had Fed Chair Powell spoke today at 5:40 in the morning as well. Nothing major crazy happened with that as far as news goes from him. Tomorrow, we do have a little bit more news coming out. Preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So big numbers for us to look out for tomorrow. All right, jumping over to the charts, looking at XRP, what we were talking about for the last couple of days is the fact that our short-term trend cycle was peaking at the 100 level. There was going to be a potential of it coming back down and doing a reset to the 0 level. It just continues to move like a wave. It goes up and down, 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 0 to 100, right? Well, the good news is we are going to be getting that reset potentially to 0. We'll see if we have a rebound back. This real big move yesterday obviously comes on that negative news that we had. So XRP just in one candle, a 23-cent move to the downside, looking at 9% on the negative news about the legal thing. But the reality is that isn't that big of a news. It wasn't like, oh no, they lost the case. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, as far as support and resistance goes, these are also our very key levels right now. This $2.52 level, we did finally break officially above that again on May 12th, had a continuation candle on May 13th. Unfortunately, our reset of the cycle did start to take place on the 15th, and right now we are below the 10 exponential moving average. So the next level of support that I'm looking for here could potentially be this $2.25 level. In fact, I don't see that as a negative thing if we did come and retest this level, because since we've broken out from here, we have not retested that. And as you all know, I always want to make sure that fair value gaps are full, and we still have this fair value gap that could even potentially lead us all the way down to $2.17 to fill that in. That does not have to be filled in now. It can be filled in the future. But you can see yesterday's 9% move to the downside left us another fair value gap. So we'll go and fill that to the upside as well. Now, when we take a look at historically what's going on, there are no fair value gaps to fill to the upside for XRP any longer. There are some fair value gaps to the downside. Will these be filled? It's actually a possibility. You know, potentially on the next bear market, could we come back into the $18, $15 levels? It is a possibility. Now, this is going to potentially just be a short-lived 3-4 days coming back down and doing a quick little reset. The last reset was from the 29th until the 7th, so it took about a week. I did want to check in, speaking of the weekly charts, our weekly momentum wave, our short-term momentum wave started turning up last week. We can see we got that green candle, but yesterday's move really affected our weekly reset. So we're going to potentially come back, retest this 0 level before making it a final move to the upside. So our short-term weekly momentum cycle faked us out to the upside. Checking back in with Bitcoin's move, we can see that it actually made a very significant move to the upside on the weekly charts here. Checking in with Solana, it also made its move to the upside. Checking in with Ethereum, Ethereum also had its short-term trend cycle move to the upside. Checking in on SUI, it also had its move to the upside. So as you can see, tons of these coins made their move to the upside. XRP started to make its move, has not officially gotten there. So there is so much more fuel in the tank for a move to the upside once that move does start. As you know, the cryptos do move in unison for the most part, but as always, XRP gets slugged in the face by another court issue.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called SUI, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.